Now, as we all know, Alireza Firouzja went A-Farmin but ran into some trouble, a bad crop. He drew with Fedorchuk, and that meant he needed to play more classical chess to try and overtake Wesley So in the January ratings list, thereby giving himself a shot at playing in the candidates tournament and ultimately becoming world chess champion. So what's he gone and done? Entered the prestigious Rouen Open in France. As you can see with this article here, it's a 7-round Swiss Open. The opposition here is weak, right? But there are a couple of strong players. You know, Kamsky's playing, okay. Li Minpeng, not heard of this guy, but sounds like a GM. But to give you a flavour of the opposition, well, I'll jump to this tab here. In round 1, Alireza played Philippe Andrew, 1686. I mean, can you imagine sitting opposite someone who's 1100 points higher rated than you? I mean, you play e4, offer a draw, then it goes downhill from there, right? Safe to say, Alireza made mincemeat. He did the same to Alex Konidakis here, won that game. Maxime Marie also overcame by Alireza, so he won his first 3, but in round 4, Alireza was facing some stiffer opposition. This guy here, Hugo Tirard. Now the screen's a bit chopped off, but he's an international master, born in 1977. Every bit of 1977 by this old school photo. Looks like it's been dragged off his MySpace or something. Full head of hair going on in this grainy picture. Now we're jumping to this game. I couldn't even get the usual view like I do in a live tournament because the tournament is so low key. It's not in the chess.com list of live tournaments. So I've pulled the PGN in. Alireza's with white, even though it just says white. We've got Hugo here with black. Let's see what happens, because if Alireza slips, makes a draw, he will not overtake Wesley in the ratings. So he kicks off here with pawn d4. We get knight f6, c4 and g6. After knight c3, his opponent goes for a King's Indian defense here. Very obliging when Alireza needs to win. Not that I'm suggesting, by the way, that he's trying to let Alireza win. He wants a sharp battle here. So h3, castles played. Now we should clarify here, by the way, this is very different to the farming thing which Alireza recently did, where he set up the opponents, you know, it was all planned. This is just your standard open tournament. Who knows who you're going to play? This is just legit stuff, right? Now this is known as the Makaganov variation, or I'm probably saying it wrong, but along those lines. Very aggressive one, because after bishop e3, knight a6, g4 is the idea for white. You push pawns where black usually pushes pawns, so aggressive. We get e5, pawn d5, the knight hits this nice outpost, pressures e4, and you don't want to give up this wonderful bishop prematurely. So f3 covers the center, a5 secures this knight's outpost, we get queen d2, bishop d7, black wants to start playing this kind of stuff, maybe go after white, who very often castles queenside, as we now see, but the white attack is very often faster. These positions are tough for black. I love playing them as white. Now we get knight e8 played, you know, c6, also possible. But okay, this one on the board clears the way for the f-pawn. Alireza goes h4. You know, you're actually entitled to leave these ones at home in this variation and just plow on after the king. So f5 played, the standard King's Indian break. We get captures, pawn recaptures. That is a juicy open file. And now bishop h3 from Alireza was met by queen to c8, because yes, you can close the position, looks like you shut down the attack, but now you can chop this knight. Pawn recaptures, bishops come off, and something like knight h3 leaves white with a positional advantage, because these pawns are tender, especially this one. This bishop is horrendous long term, and the knights are going to maneuver well in this closed position. Open g file as well, white's having the fun. So queen c8 played instead. Now we see pawn h5, King h8, the pawn runs all the way down, and that one is a thorn in the side, takes control of this square. So bishop f6 was met by bishop takes on f5. These ones come off. Why would Alireza ruin his own structure here and then go knight g to e2, offering a second pawn? Well, he's trying to open lines, attack that black king, especially before black can get this kind of counterplay, move the knight, connect these rooks. And that's why black doesn't take here. Without going down the entire line, this rook comes to the f-file and you run into long-term attacking ideas for white when these rooks are still split and this knight is stumbling for squares. So rook g8 played instead. Good move, trying to add some defense. Now we get f4 from Alireza, again ripping open lines. We get e takes, knight recaptures, knight e4, good move from black here, hitting these 2 points, and taking looks very natural. It is a decent move, but Alireza goes for this one. Also good, the top move in fact, because you create this pin, you're about to win a piece, it forces these queens off, bit Magnus-esque, Alireza going for the end game, bishop back to d2, but still black's got some long-term problems with this king here, even with the ladies off the board. So rook g4 looks to activate. Maybe you're going to take here or something like that. Force the pawn recaptures. You know, this bishop's got to stay with the knight. So Alireza, he goes for knight e4. Activating, hits that bishop. It comes to d4 here, and now this is a great move from Alireza. He's spotting tactics, he's using the weakness of the king, and he gallops forward with knight to e6, leaving an entire piece to be taken, because if it's captured, this is his point. You go rook d to f1, and you're attacking the defender of this bishop, because the knight's then pressuring the bishop, and if rook recaptures, you walk into bishop c3, horrible pins. So it's very difficult to actually deal with this. This knight can't come and support this one. If you say take here, just trying to get away from that attack, but win a pawn at the same time, well then you can check. The knight stumbles back and you win back your piece here. The rook can't capture, or bishop c3, and you're winning a piece. There's no way to defend it or winning an exchange, right? So coming back here, you know, you'd have to try something like king g7, rook drops back, and here white's just doing well. Despite being a pawn down, it's white that's attacking. So let's run back here. After knight to e6, Alireza leaves the piece, but it wasn't captured. Instead, this one, which is being pressured, drops back to e5. We get this move, bringing that rook to the f-file now. The job is done on the h-file. That pawn's well defended. Rook takes on e4 now played. We do see a swap of minor pieces, and Alireza gives this pawn with check. King b1, always play it. Now knight f6, black desperate to unravel. Is Alireza's centre collapsing here? Well, this is more good use of the tactics. We see rook d to f1. And if this knight takes, again, it's the king which is the problem. You land this check, force the rooks off, and that is actually a checkmate. The king cannot get out the corner. So after these rooks double, the knight stumbles back to g8 here. Miserable square, but black's still alive. Alireza now invades with the rooks. This one that never left its starting square finally exchanges. Rook recaptures, and now rook g4 was the best defensive try. Add some defense to this square. But what we see in the game is bishop f6, and this allows Alireza a checkmate in 5 moves. Can you find the way to play it? The starting move, well done if you spotted this one. The move you got to go with is knight to g5, and this forced resignation. That's why I've given it the exclam. So the threat here is knight f7 checkmate. These pieces just cannot move. And if you capture with the bishop, only way to stave off the mate, well now there's a new checkmating threat with bishop f6. Again, you can't do anything to stop it. If you cover with the rook, well now of course you simply ditch a piece. And still you can't stop it. You chuck a couple pawns, then you get mated. So that's why this was the final move. Now what's this done for the ratings? Let's jump to this tab. 2700chess.com. Here we can now see Alireza is back to number 6, 27.58.3. Wesley So just below him. Now Wesley's got to hold his breath here that Alireza slips up against Gatakamsky or one or two of the other strong players, right? Otherwise, it's going to be Alireza going to the candidates unless Wesley goes for some last minute ditch tournament, right? Trying to get his rating up. All kicking off, fascinating in the chess world. Do subscribe to never miss a video, and for another epic game of chess, check out the video on screen. Thanks very much for watching and see you soon.